hindi na ngayon makita kung nobody knows how the Ukraine incident would end. At ang masaklap pa dito, mas marami pang na-occupy na Ukrainian land ang Russia. That's not a good deal. So ngayon, sana nakikinig dito yung presidente natin. No? Huwag siyang makinig sa Amerika. The president should look at what's happening in Ukraine right now. Hello, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ito po si Sas Rogando Sasot, ang inyong favorite American colony traitor, Indio. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. At kamusta po kayo? Nasaan na po ba kayo sa buhay? Just me, kamusta na ang inyong mga weekends? I hope that you had a good Friday, mga friendship. Ayan. So, na tayo ngayon? Sa mas malaking issue na tayo, natapos na nating gisahin ang mga maliliit na isda. Pupunta na po tayo ngayon sa mas malaking isda. Nakakaloka. Nakakaloka yung mga basahang vloggers ni Marcos, na? Kung ano-anong pinaggagawa. Pero kamusta lahat? Oy, may taga-Mexico dito na Pilipinas. Parang ngayon lang ako nakakita ng taga-Mexico. Oh, hello sa mga nasa Myanmar na Pilipino. I hope to visit Myanmar someday. Meron akong kaklase na taga-Myanmar. So, I've heard a lot of good things. Maganda raw ang Myanmar. Hello sa mga nasa Melbourne, nasa Singapore. Ayan. So, at ang mga seaman natin nasa Cayman Island. Hi, Shion. Pwede ba dyan mag-off? Pag may politician, pag may Filipino politician na nag-open ng offshore account dyan sa Cayman Island, timbrehan mo ako. Hi, Homer. Hello sa mga nasa Singapore, Melbourne. Ang dami yung taga-Melbourne. Hello sa mga nasa Dammam, Saudi. Hello sa mga nasa Aurora, Colorado. Hello sa mga nasa Hacienda de Luisita. Diyos mio. Teyatan. Lalagyan ko na ng buod yung Teyatan. Oh. Alam nyo guys, kapag ang tao sobra ang gamit ng filter. Kasi makikita mo naman na sobrang gamit ng filter eh. Una, wala ka makikitang picture niya with other people. And then second, ayun na nga, hindi nagkukwento tungkol sa kanyang buhay. Walang parents, walang brothers and sisters, ganyan, walang friends, 'di ba? Outside vlogging, meron 'yang tinatago. Garantisado yan, mga friends. Oo. Kasi, just me, yung mga binabato nila sa akin ngayon, ginawa na yan, lahat yung binabato nila, recycled yan ng ginawa ng mga yellow sa akin noong panahon ni Duterte. The only difference is, itong mga yellows, at least they still had some decency within them, na hindi nila babuyin yung nanay ko. Ginamit nila yung nanay ko against me kasi nga yung nanay ko is anti-Duterte noon. But other than that, hindi naman nila binalahura yung nanay ko. So, that's fine. Pero ito talaga, Lord Almighty. So, hello sa mga nasa UAE, nasa Santa Cruz, Laguna, nasa Bukidnon, nasa Thailand. Diba, can you imagine, 9 months nila ako straight. Hello, Daryl. 9 months straight nila akong tinira-tira. Every day. Like, sobrang baboy, no? And then, ngayon lang naman ako rumesback sa kanila. Pero, pasensyahan na lang. Diba? Kasi ako guys, mahaba ang pasensya ko. As in, mahaba ang PC ko. Pero pag naputol ang PC ko, sisiguraduhin wala akong ititira. So, pag hindi ako pa, mahaba ang tolerance ko sa pag binabalahura ako. So, pero pag tumodo na, alam mo yon na, ay, pinagbigyan ka na ng napakahabang panahon, ayaw pang tumigil. Sabi nga nila, di ba? Deep waters, still waters, silent waters, run deep. So, ayan na. So, dito tayo ngayon sa mas seryosong issue, no? Kilala niyo ba si Lukashenko? Kung hindi niyo po kilala si Lukashenko, bibigyan ko lang kayo ng maliit na background. Si Lukashenko po ay ang presidente ng Belarus, diyan po yan sa Europe, no? Sa north ng Ukraine. Ngayon may lumabas na balita. Si Lukashenko, papakita ko lang yung itsura ni Lukashenko. Ito yung itsura ni Lukashenko. Ang dumi ng laptop ko, Diyos mio. Pagpasensyahan nyo na yung laptop ko. Kayong umarte. Zelensky, ayan o. Yan si Lukashenko. Ngayon, may lumabas na balita. Si Lukashenko, okay, nagbigay pala siya daw ng advice sa Ukraine, kay Zelensky. Okay? Ang sabi ni, actually, kinikritis si Zelensky. Sabi ni Lukashenko, si Zelensky daw is preparing to run away somewhere with money. Kasi nga, di ba, ang dami na binibigay ng pera ng United States sa Ukraine. Mga 100, na siya, sobrang, about several $100 billion. So imagine several $100 billion, di ba? Sabi ni Gabriel Lopez, Misa, sana bumalik na tayo sa main issue na liquidation by certification. Gabriel, naka-break po kasi ngayon ng Kongreso, November 15 pa. So mahaba pang panahon na hintayin natin, no? Pero babalikan natin yan. Naku, babalikan natin tong issue ng liquidation na walang resibo. Kahit 2025 election, hindi na to dapat magpatuloy, no? Anyway, balik tayo kay Lukashenko. Ngayon, sabi ni Lukashenko, si Zelensky raw is preparing to run away with so much money. Okay. Kung hindi po kayo nakaka-follow na ngayon ng Ukraine, kasi nawala na ang Ukraine, di ba? Nawala na ang Ukraine halos sa news. Syempre, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung labanan. And recently, yung ex-German chancellor, yung leader ng Germany, nag-release siya ng information na ito pa lang si Zelensky. Last year pa, March 2022. Imagine guys, sa March 2022, nung nag-uumpisa pa lang to, gusto nang makipagkasundo ni Zelensky sa Russia. So, si Zelensky, gusto niya na makipagkasundo kay Putin na yun na nga na magiging neutral ang Ukraine, tapos magkakaroon sila ng some arrangement about Crimea and Donbass. And pumapayag na yung Russia doon sa offer. Okay? Nung Ukraine side. What happened was, si Zelensky hindi siya makakapag-decide unless merong go signal ng United States. So the United States doesn't want Zelensky to have peace with Russia and other Western countries, like for example, meron din na involved din dyan ang United Kingdom. So, nangyari ngayon, si Zelensky hindi natuloy yung peace deal na sana last year pa guys, March 2022. Can you imagine, kung March 2022 nangyari ito, hindi na sana tayo nagkaroon na masyadong maraming inflation, guys. So, nagpatuloy yung gera. So, ngayon, si Lukashenko ng Belarus, sabi niya, nag-advise daw pala siya dito kay Zelensky. Sabi niya kay Zelensky is, ang ano niya is, alam mo, matanda na, ganyan. So, marami na siyang na-experience sa buhay. Ang sabi niya, huwag kang papasok sa isang ganyang gulo, sa isang reckless na undertaking. Ang sabi niya, ang Amerika, sabi ni Lukashenko, ang Amerika Ang gusto lang niyang gawin is, pag nagkagulo na, aalis na yan, iiwanan ka na dyan. Sabi ni Lukashenko, ito yung pagkasabi ni Lukashenko, you can see what politicians are like there. Ibig sabihin sa Amerika, I look at them as an experienced person and sometimes I want to cry. They don't think about the people. They serve their term, 2 terms, they go, steal something, put it in their pocket, and go somewhere. So, ibig sabihin ni Lukashenko, kasi, sa United States, kasi diba, katulad din sa atin, may election, etc. So, gagawin lang nila, bobula-bulahin yung mga tao, uupo sa kapangyarihan, and then magra-racket, and then we'll go somewhere else. So, it's something like in Ukraine as well. Diba? Na ganun din yung eksena. And sabi ni Lukashenko kay Zelensky, listen to me. An experienced person who has been working for many years, as soon as some turmoil arises, they will forget about you. Look at what's happening now. Ukraine is moving into the background kasi nga, di ba, may Israel Hamas issue na. So wala ka na sa background, doon na yung focus, di ba? Kaya sabi niya na ang ending nito is Zelensky made a strategic blunder na nakinig siya sa mga Amerikano. Diba? Na nakinig siya sa mga Amerikano. So, wala na. Kakalimutan ka na yan pag nagkagulo na. And then, you will be left cleaning the mess. So, ngayon, si Zelensky, anong gagawin niya? Do you really think na si Zelensky is mananatili pa sa Ukraine in the near future? Or do you think na sisibat yan? Or magtatawag na lang ng election? And then, para magkaroon siya ng graceful exit, magpapatalo na lang siya and somebody else would just become the new president of Ukraine. Kasi mahina si Zelensky eh. Hindi niya nakita na pag humaba na hindi niya nakita na ang best option sa kanya yung nangyari ng March 2022. Kasi kung nangyari yon, yung kanyang peace deal with Russia ng March 2022, they could have saved a lot of lives. They could have saved a lot of infrastructure and everything else. Pero ngayon, nakinig siya sa Amerika, kita mo na yun nangyayari ngayon sa Ukraine. Hindi na ngayon makita kung nobody knows how the Ukraine incident would end. At ang masaklap pa dito, mas marami pang na-occupy na Ukrainian land ang Russia. That's not a good deal. So ngayon, sana nakikinig dito yung presidente natin. No? Huwag siyang makinig sa Amerika. The president should look at what's happening in Ukraine right now. Diba? So yun ang eksena. He has to look at what's happening in Ukraine right now. May tanong dito kanina, sabi ni Javier, Ma'am Sastrogando Sasot, how about the willingness of China to go to war with Taiwan and the Philippines? Mukhang dito naman gusto ng mga magkagera. Proxy war against China. Well, if you have been following the news, China is very clear. Sinabi ni Wang Yi kay Sullivan, yung National Security Advisor ng United States, Taiwan is the red line. Sinabi niyan. Okay? Taiwan is the red line. Kasi nga, Taiwan is part of mainland China. That's really sacred territory. So for China, ito, makinig kayo guys. For China, there is no dispute about Taiwan sa kanilang pag-iisip. Nagigets nyo? Pero yan sa South China Sea, they recognize that there is a dispute. Nagets nyo yung pagkakaiba? Naisip niyo yung pagkakaiba, guys? Naintindihan niyo yung pagkakaiba? For China, Taiwan is non-negotiable. Okay? Non-negotiable sa kanila ang Taiwan. Okay? Taiwan is part of China for them. There's no dispute about it. Okay? Ngayon, yung South China Sea conflict, for them, they recognize na merong dispute. Kaya nga sila willing makipag-negotiate. Nagigets ninyo? So, yun. Okay? Correct. Shar Habil Alawi. Taiwan is final. That's a red line. Ang South China Sea for China, that's negotiable for China. That's negotiable. Ngayon, is China will not fire. Okay? China will not fight without provoke. Hindi sila mag-aano. China is less risk taker than Russia. So, yan ang pagkakaintindihin nyo, ha. Ang Russia kasi, guys, okay, given the history rin kasi and culture of the two countries, Russia and China, ang Russia kasi has a Slavic culture. Okay? Ang Slavic culture po, guys, ano talaga yan? Pag napikon talaga sa'yo ang mga Slavic, ay Lord Almighty, magtago ka na. Okay? Mahaba ang pasensya niyan. Parang ako, no? Pag napikon, na yan, lagot ka. Alam mo yan? Pag nakakita ka ng mga openings sa kanila, ng mga overtures, na ganito, mag-usap tayo, get it. Get the opportunity. Okay? Pero pag nire-reject mo yung mga offer nila na makipag-usap sa'yo, makipag-ganyan, it will be the end of your day. Ano talaga sila? Sabi nga ng foreign policy professor namin noon sa Leiden, Russia are like, para siyang, parang mobster. Pag nakipagkasundo sa kanila, they will remain committed to it. Pero once na paikot-ikutin mo sila at gagawin mo sila, lagot ka. Ganon. Okay? Lagot ka. Ang China, guys, China is a 5,000-year-old civilization. For 5,000 years, guys, malakas ang kanilang centralized government. They have 5,000 year worth of diplomacy, etc. So their patience is very, 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 very long. Okay? Very, 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 very long. And what they do, okay, pag pinoprovoke mo sila ng pinoprovoke, hindi kanila i-head-on confrontation. Okay? Because China plays the long game. Why does China play the long game? Because China has a long history. Nagets niyo? Nagets niyo yun, guys. China has a long memory of history. At naiisip niya na itong mga nangyayari ito, kurot lang ito sa history nila. Kurot lang ito sa history nila. Pero, ang red line sa China is i-dismember mo sila. Nagets mo? Taiwan issue is an issue of dismemberment sa kanila. Okay? Pag hinati-hati mo ang China, lagot ka sa Chinese. Lagot ka sa Chinese. They will not leave any stone unturned. I'm telling you. Okay? So, yung South China Sea conflict, kurot lang yan for the Chinese. Gagawa lang sila if you fire the first fire. Yun. Ngayon, ang United States kasi, kung hindi niya nakikita ang kanyang mga galawan, ang ginagawa niya, nagpo-provoke siya. Nagigets niyo? Ano siya, yung parang yung bully sa klase, yung ginaganyan-ganyan ka. Yung ginaganyan-ganyan ka, di ba? Ngayon, ang point nun, yung ginaganyan-ganyan ka, para ikaw yung unang manampal. Nangyari na yan sa akin dati, grade school ako. Merong school bully sa amin. Ang ginagawa, hindi niya kasi nasaktan, no? Hindi niya kasi nasaktan. So, ginagawa niya, inaasar-asar lang niya ako. No, nandiyan sa likod ko, tapos inaasar-asar niya ako, tapos, hindi ko siya pinapansin, ganyan. Tapos, nung napuno na ako, humarap ako sa kanya, tapos sinampal ko siya. Ano ngayon yung nakita ng mga teacher? Ang nakita ng teacher, yung pagsampal ko sa kanya, diba? So, ako yung, from the surface, ako yung may kasalanan. So, nung dinala kami sa prefect of students office, kay Brother Elu, sumalangit naman si Brother Elu. So, nandun siya, nandun ako. Akala ng prefect of student, yung bully yung rason. Kasi nga naman, ang liit-liit ko, no? Tapos ang laki-laki niya, football player pa. So sabi niya, ikaw na naman, pinapagalitan niya yung bully. Tapos sabi ng teacher, hindi yung bully yung rason, kundi ako. Tapos nung napatingin sa akin yung perfect student, natawa na lang siya. Tawa siya ng tawa, tapos sinabihan na lang niya yung bully na buti nga. Ginanon niya yung bully. Nagets ninyo? So ganun yung ginagawa ng Amerika. No? Pinupok-pok niya yung iba't ibang region. Diba? Pinupok niya yung Russia. Pinupok niya yung China. Pinupok itong Israel and Hamas. I'm not really sure how much yung involvement dyan ng United States. For me, my gut feeling is that yung Israel and Palestine issue, it's a curveball. I think hindi ito na-anticipate ng United States na magkakaroon ng Israel-Palestine conflagration or yung ganyang incident. Kasi ako feeling ko talaga ang iniisip ng United States is magpatuloy itong Ukraine, the world has the attention on Ukraine para itong Russia is totally ma-weaken. Hindi siguro na-anticipate ng United States itong Israel and Palestine issue. Nandun na ngayon na-focus yung attention ng mundo. So, ngayon, kawawa ang Ukraine. Nagets ninyo? So, ganun yung advice ni Lukashenko kay Zelensky na hindi niya mapipredict yung escalation ng conflict, no? Kaya the first instance na pwede kang makapag-peace, makapag-ayos, take it. Kasi mas mabuti na yan kaysa i-gamble mo yung bansa mo sa isang bagay na wala kang control kung paano mag-escalate. So ganun yung advice ni Lukashenko kay Zelensky na sana mapakinggan ito ng ating mga liderato. Nagets ninyo? So, sabi ni RA, USA kasi lives on an island. Wala silang disputes with their borders, kaya mahilig. Correct. Yan ang sinabi ni Lukashenko rin. So, na United States is so far away, it's big, it doesn't need Ukraine. It doesn't need the Philippines as well. So, ang gusto lang talaga ng United States is to steer trouble. Kasi magaling silang mag-fish ng opportunities when there is trouble. Nagets niyo? Look at Iraq. They destroyed Iraq. Pero at the same time, ang daming kumita doon sa pag-destroy nila ng Iraq. 'Di ba? Maraming opportunities na nabigay yung Iraq War for the Americans. So, ganun din dito sa Pilipinas, no? Yung sa South China Sea, okay, or West Philippines, whatever you call it, ang nangyayari kasi dyan, they keep on poking the dragon. Okay? They want China to do something drastic, like fire the first gunshot. But the thing is, China will never do that. China will never do that. Yun ang sabihin ko sa inyo. China will never do that. It's impossible that China will fire the first shot. So, ang mangyayari dyan, magkakaroon dyan ng incident. Okay? And then it will escalate. The incidents will escalate further. Kasi nga, they want to weaken China. Kasi guys, if you're going to look at what's going on right now in the world, China has the strongest position. Why? Para ma-resolve mo ang Ukraine and Russia, sinong kailangan mo? China. Kung kanino kung ano yung papanigan ng China, that will determine the outcome. Yung Israel-Palestine. Sino kailangan nila dyan? China. Kasi China. So ngayon, China is such in a very strong position right now. You know, strategically, kailangan ma-weaken yung China kasi nga, guys, ang ginagawa lang ng China ngayon, I'm just gonna give you some information, no? Yung nangyayari ngayon dito sa loob ng China. Ang nangyayari kasi sa China ngayon, they don't really care about what's going on outside the world. Kasi ang focus ngayon nila dito is to rectify, okay? To rectify Chinese society. Kasi nga, Xi Jinping, okay? Xi Jinping, when he became president in 2000, when did he become president? 2012, 2013. Okay, early 2010s. Okay. 2012 ba? Let me just verify. Okay. So when on his road to power, ito si Xi Jinping. Okay. Kailan ba ito naging presidente? 2013. Okay? So, remember, nagkaroon ng dramatic rise in China, no? From 1978 hanggang ngayon. But, ano ang kaakibat ng pag-unlad at ng modernization at pagyaman ng ekonomiya? Corruption. Corruption and decadence. So, ang nangyayari kasi is like the party, the Communist Party of China, meron silang reflection na ginawa on what's going on in the Chinese society. So ang lumalabas is that they see that lumala yung corruption. Malala talaga ang corruption. Guys, I'm telling you, yan yung number one problem ngayon ng China na sinusolusyonan ni Xi Jinping. Kasi hindi ito binabalita sa Pilipinas. I don't think that the Philippine media is actually reporting what's going on inside China. So matindi ang corruption. And then second is yung decadence. I don't know guys if you know what decadence. Ito yung moral degradation. Of course, corruption is moral degradation. Na parang people are living more for pleasure. Nagets ninyo? That's decadence. Okay? Nawawala na yung sense of social solidarity. Yung parang you are only living for yourself and for pleasure. That's decadence, no? The more napapunta din yung society, the more the society becomes decadent. So, ang focus ngayon ng China is internal. And they want, kaya ngayon grabe ang anti-corruption drive. Can you imagine, since 2013 na umupo si Xi Jinping, hindi pa, parang ang na-prosecute na 2 million. Can you imagine 2 million government workers. 2 million. At hindi lang to sa mababa, hindi lang to sa mababang mga government workers. Recently, yung kanilang defense minister was removed because of wala pang conviction na corruption, ha. Natanggal. Ganun katindi up to the highest level. Ang maganda kasi, they selected Xi Jinping kasi Xi Jinping, ang tinagurian nilang Mr. Clean, wala talaga siyang record of corruption. Have you seen? Kasi kung meron yung si Xi Jinping record of corruption, kahit yung mga, the United States would have already used it against Xi Jinping, but Xi Jinping has no record of corruption. Kaya nga siya umangat. Xi Jinping used to be a mayor, okay, in Xiamen. Kaya siya umangat sa kapangyarihan from mayor to the upper echelon or upper ladder ng power dito sa China because Xi Jinping became famous for refusing bribery when he was still a mayor. So, kaya parang siya yung perfect. Wala siya, can you imagine, malinis si Xi Jinping and even his family. So, ganun siya ka Mr. Clean. So, yun yung focus nila ngayon dito. They are focusing on cleaning the government about corruption, poor performance, as in they really like to rehabilitate China. Kasi nga they felt na China lost its soul. Can you imagine? Kasi nga, syempre, pag umuunlad ka, no, the people become more complacent, become more decadent. So, bakit may nagtatanong dito? So yun yung ano nila, no? So, ganito yung magnitude ng paglilinis, ha? As I've heard, ang number of civil servants dito sa China is about 9 million. Parang about 9 million. So imagine 2 million ha. 2 million na yung napoprosecute sa corruption. Ganun yung magnitude ng corruption, mga indang. Sabi ni David Ho, Xi Jinping is multimillionaire hiding money in abroad. That's not true. That's not true, David Ho. That's not true. That's already been proven false. It's not his money. You're incorrect. So yun yung nangyari. Anyway, so ngayon, so that's why they don't as much as possible, they don't want to engage in all this trouble all over the world because they would like to focus inside. Okay? They would like to focus inside. So, anyway, ibaban kita, Eliseo. So ganun yung nangyari. So there is a war on corruption going on inside. So now, yung sa South China Sea conflict, okay, yung sa South China Sea conflict, it's negotiable for them. Taiwan is non-negotiable. So ganun yung separation nila. So now, of course, the United States has a strategic rivalry against China, and they would like to weaken China militarily, but I don't think that they would be able to do it. Ngayon, kung magkaroon ng gera, it will be because of the instigation of the Americans. Yan sa South China Sea. Kaya nga, it will be like Ukraine. Di ba? Sino ba nag-instigate? Sino bang bumuyo sa Ukraine na lumaban ka? Di ba? Sino ang nag-encourage sa Ukraine na lumaban siya? It's the West. It's the United States and United Kingdom and some other countries in the West. Gusto na ni Zelensky makipag-peace eh. March 2022, pinigilan siya. Ngayon, ano nangyari dun sa decision na yon? Diba? What's happening right now sa Ukraine? So, ganon sana sa Pilipinas, no? Pag-isipan nila what is best for the future of the Philippines. Diba? Kasi yung Ukraine, the leadership didn't think about the future of Ukraine. Now, you look at the Ukraine. Do you think Ukraine has a good future? Diba? So, ayun lang. I'm gonna answer some question. Sabi ni Sane Tupas, Mrs. I think gusto din ni Xi Jinping i-keep yung traits and culture at di napapadala sa Western civilization. Yes, that's what part of the plan. To put it more simply, they would like to regain China's soul. So, ganun yung parang gusto nilang gawin na they felt na China lost its soul for the past 40 years with this development. So, they would like to have their soul back. So ayun na nga. Anyway, guys, I hope that you learned something from this live. So, okay. So ayun na nga. Internal cleansing ngayon sa China. Super internal cleansing. Like, grabe yung investigation, yung pag-usig sa mga corrupt officials. So ayun lang. Maraming salamat, guys. At ako ay magtatanghalian na. Actually, brunch. And thank you. Ay, may tanong si Rita Burns. Japan's integrity is intact. The problem with Japan, guys, is the same problem that Japan faced in the previous century, 20th century. Japan doesn't have enough natural resources and its population is actually dwindling down and aging. So Japan has no choice but to it needs resources. Okay, it's very resource poor country. It needs resources outside. So I think Japan has to be intelligent in how it would approach the 21st century. It cannot do what it did in the 20th century when it was lacking resources. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, and I hope that you would have a good Saturday. Sabi ni Ann Cortez, Japan is pro-American. I don't think that they are pro-American. I think that they are just held bondage by the Americans. Remember, the Americans has been occupying them since after World War II. So I think they are held hostage by the Americans. Sabi ni SK Chilat, as a Philippines, does it have any soul left? I think we are in the process of understanding what our soul is as a nation, na hindi nakaangkla sa ating colonial masters. Thank you so much and have a good Saturday, guys. Thank you.